Okay, so we just started on the second barn today, and all we really did was try to figure out where we want the footers to go. And my husband's going to do most of the explaining because he is the building construction manager. Neither one of us have building construction experience other than the barn that we built, and we really, don't do things by the book, but we get things done. That's the important thing. So when you guys are watching this video, there's probably going to be a lot of things, especially if you either went to school for it, had an apprenticeship with it. You're probably going to see things and be like, why did they do it that way? They could have done it this way, or but one of the things is we have to work with what we have. We can only buy so many tools. And, I've had people say, oh, go get this tool. It's only $30. Well, sometimes only $30 is a lot more than you would think it is. So just bear with us, but I'm not sharing this as a how-to. I'm sharing this as a look what we did. So I'm gonna let my husband take it away, and I'll just keep videotaping it. And once we get about probably halfway through is probably when I'll upload, and then I'll do the other half after that. Here we go. So we are starting on the goat barn, and right now we are trying to figure out where our footers, these guys right here that are gonna be set in concrete, are gonna go. So we're gonna have 4 of them, and they're gonna be the corners of the building. So we have one here, one somewhere over here, one somewhere over here, and then one somewhere over here. And we are gonna have a walkway coming off right here. We're gonna cut a hole for a door, have about a 4-foot walkway off of here, and then that's where the wall for the building is gonna go. So how are we looking?
Good.
Yeah.
We just measured 14 feet from that stick over there. That's how long the extension of the barn is going to be.
To this one over here, this little tiny stick. Where is it? Right there. So this is obviously going to need to come down, which we knew it was going to anyways, but the barn is definitely coming over further than we initially thought, but that's because we wanted to go 4-foot walkway in between instead of a 3, so that makes a difference. Okay, what are we doing next?
We'll start getting the earth auger out and making the holes for the footers. The first 1.5 feet went fairly quickly, and then we hit some hard, dry clay, and I'm slowly adding water, going 1 inch at a time. I have about 6 to 7 inches left. We need to go 36 inches because that's the frost line here in Indiana.
And so you used the earth auger, and then once you kind of got stuck, you started using the hand one.
Yeah, the hand one's not doing much, just grabbing just a little bit. But...
And when we did that barn, I'm trying to wait for the wind to die down because they're probably not going to be able to hear me. When we did that barn, we did it by hand with that thing, didn't we? All 4 of them.
We did, but it was March and everything was wet and muddy.
Ah, okay. That's right. So now we're coming off the end of summer, early fall.
Yeah, it's been a pretty
Or I guess this would be mid-fall at this point.
Yeah, this is mid-fall.
Yeah.
It's been a dry fall so far.
Yeah.
We've had rain, but nothing to
saturate the ground deeply. Okay, well, have fun with that. Because I got to go to a birthday party, I think, so I'm going to be gone and you're going to be working away. All right, cool. So right now he's mixing cement with water with his handy dandy wooden cement mixing tool. It's just a stick. And we're pouring it in, and I just checked and it was level, so and it's pretty set up down deep in the hole, so we're pretty good as far as it being level at this point. And we have Hank, the supervisor, on board just in case Daddy does something wrong. So we got one down, and he did end up getting the hole over here dug while it was gone, and he also got the front corner one over here. So we'll probably be able to get all 3 of those in today.
That's not done.
This is not done?
It's halfway.
Oh, I was wondering, okay, because there's water in there. All right, so that's only half dug up. So these are the boards. What are these boards, Andrew, that we're using?
4x4.
These are 4x4s, and then they were 6 feet long?
8 feet long.
8 feet long, and he cut them in half down to 4 feet. So that's what we're using for the footers. And then once we get them in, then we determine how high up we want the building to sit, and then we cut them. So, yeah, that's what's going on right now. Okay, Davey, what are you doing?
I'm mixing.
What are you mixing?
Cement and water.
And we're doing that to set the footer, right?
Yeah.
So we got about, not very much of it in there so far. And this hole ended up giving us some problems, so we did end up having to dig out. The hole was over here initially. We had to basically re-dig out a whole second hole. So,
Pour a little more water in.
but Davey wanted to help mix. You're doing a great job, David.
No, I'm making dope balls.
What are you making?
Dope balls.
You're hard at work over here making a big divot in our yard. Yeah,
And
you
I
having
made
fun?
these sweet little dope balls.
Those are beautiful.
Yes.
Very nice work.
And then I was digging so much I made this.
That's really good.
What?
Daddy just thinks you're cute.
And I'm gonna make more of these dope balls.
They
I'm
look
gonna
great.
throw one at David.
No, you're not gonna throw any
I'll
at your
throw them
brother.
at the treehouse.
Okay.
Am I doing good?
You're doing great, David.
Okay, so today I'm wearing my chicken hat that my mom made me. A little chicken beanie. Anyways, we got all of the footers set in concrete. So today our plan is to cut all of the footers level, or as level as we can get, because we are not builders. We're not, carpenters or anything like that. So we're going to get them cut as level as we can get them. And then we'll start getting the foundation boards chinked out. We can only do 2 of them because the 16 footers have not arrived yet. I think we have the 12 footers right now. So we'll probably get those cut to size and start chinking those out. We do the chinking all by hand, so I'll show you guys how we do that. Yeah, we got most of the fencing taken down. The only thing left is there's 2 posts that we can't get out. So we're gonna get those posts out, but I'll show you guys how my husband is going to be cutting the footers so that they'll be at the level we need them to put the foundation on the barn.
Today we're cutting the footers the same elevation as the existing barn for the addition.
Okay, so the footers right here. And then, so the footers in the corner here. On all 4 corners for the existing barn, we're gonna cut the same elevation, so the same height. But right now, that's how tall they are. So we have, what are we using to determine the
line level.
Yeah, the line level.
Yeah.
That's what we're using. And that's this thing over here, the low level that's attached to a string. And how are we gonna do that?
We're attaching it to the footer from the main barn, and we'll make sure it's level with the next footer.
Okay. Because right now you're using that line leveler, right?
Yeah.
And so basically he's got it tied to the top part of the footer over here. And that's about where we're going to be cutting it, is right there. So they're going to be cut pretty low to the ground, but this is just for the foundation to sit on. Okay, so we got one down. Cut didn't go as well as we'd hoped, but it'll be fine because it's just what the foundation is sitting on. So this time he's kind of cutting into each corner to kind of help keep it nice and straight. So we got a little bit off there, but I think with each one you'll get better. Okay, Andrew, what are you doing right now?
Cutting the 4x6s for the foundation.
And you're cutting them to a length of 10 feet, right?
Right.
Because we still don't have the 16 footers. So the size of the barn is 10 by 14. So this is going to go from here to here, essentially, like that. And then lengthwise, we're going to use the 16 footers and cut them down to 14, which is going to go from that footer to that footer. But we don't have those yet because they were delayed in shipping. They weren't delayed in shipping, they were just coming from a different store. Do you need help? I can hold it for you. So he's just measuring it out and drawing the line for 10 feet so that we can cut it, and then we're going to hand chink it out. Okay, what are you doing right now, Andrew?
I'm cutting the end of the 4x6. I'm cutting it 1 3/4 inch deep and 5.5 inches long.
And this is for basically, he's gonna cut it part way down here, part way down. We're gonna chink this whole chunk out here, and we're gonna have the rest of the board, and then the next board that goes across long ways will sit on top of that, but it will also be partially chinked out. So they fit together almost like Lincoln logs. So what he's doing right now is he's gonna cut a bunch of lines that are sort of close together, and then I'm gonna go. Chisel and cut all of it out that didn't get cut. So I'm just taking basically a little chisel, and I'm gonna come in and try to stay right along this line here where he cut, and then all of this is gonna come off, but all of this will stay here. And then, like I said before, it's gonna fit together kind of like linking logs, where the next board that's gonna be 14 feet is gonna have the same thing done. We're gonna flip it, and then it's gonna sit right on top of here, and then we're gonna screw that down into the footers. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm kind of leveling this off with where I see it stop, and just tapping it with my little hammer, and keeping it as straight as I can, and then these are just popping right off. And it doesn't really matter that there's these lines here, because once you put that other piece on top of there and you screw it down, you're not even gonna notice it. And then I'll come back to the other side and do the same thing on the other side. And then if there's any major spots that are up pretty high, I'll go in like this and just keep it nice and level. And just kind of tap those down and level them out a little bit more so that it's more flat. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. Using this little chisel and hammer here, this is my favorite part of building the barn, is making these little chinks in the wood. It's my favorite part. I don't know why, I just love working with chisels and hammers. It's so much fun. On to the next. Okay, now we got both sides chinked out, and they are sitting on the footers. So it's pretty cool.